You know, sometimes a performance is just so much more than a performance. It's a statement. It's a story where every single detail matters. So today, we're going to break down Jennie's absolutely incredible stage at the 2025 Melon Music Awards, where her fashion choices spoke volumes about identity, heritage, and what it means to be an artist.
Let's just start with this number, 15 meters. That's almost 50 feet. I mean, what could a pop star possibly wear that's that long? Well, as it turns out, it was the single most talked about, most stunning element of the entire awards show.
And that really brings us to the core question here, right? How can a piece of fabric, a piece of clothing, become this powerful form of communication? For Jennie, her outfit wasn't just some cool accessory, it was the entire message.
All right, part one, a stage-stealing veil. We have to understand, this performance was a huge deal, 7 whole years in the making, and it was all happening on one of the biggest nights in Korean music.
Okay, so the stage is the Melon Music Awards 2025. The artist, of course, is Blackpink's Jennie, and this was her first solo appearance on an MMA stage in 7 long years. She opened her set with the song Soul City, but honestly, it was what she was wearing that had everyone completely mesmerized.
So part two, the language of identity. This is where a simple fashion choice transforms into a really profound cultural statement. We have to decode the language that was literally woven into that 15-meter veil. So the text that was covering this entire veil, it wasn't just some random script or pretty design. The verses were actually taken from Yangyang. And this is so significant because it's the very first songbook ever written in Hangeul, the Korean alphabet. That choice immediately created this direct, powerful link to the very roots of the Korean language.
And you don't even have to guess at the meaning, because the fashion brand that designed the piece, LEJ, they confirmed it themselves. They said it was created to represent a moment of confronting one's roots through language. So the veil wasn't there to hide her. It was there to reveal her deep connection to her heritage, right there on this massive stage for the world to see.
Part 3. Details with meaning. But, you know, the story did not end with the veil. Not even close. The whole idea of self-definition was carried through to her second performance in a way that was both super subtle and incredibly powerful. So for her next song, like Jennie, she swapped that huge flowing veil for this stunning sequin jacket. And at first glance, you might just think, wow, cool stage outfit. But if you looked closer, you'd see a whole other layer of meaning.
Get this, 2,000. That is how many sequins were on that jacket. But they weren't just your standard off-the-rack sequins. No way. Each and every one was meticulously engraved with her name, Jennie, written in Hangeul. I mean, just stop and think about the sheer amount of work that goes into that. The brand reported that it took over 200 hours of production just to create this one piece. This wasn't fast fashion. This was a handcrafted piece of art designed to deliver a very, very specific message. The designers actually called the jacket a visual record of self-definition. By engraving her own name over and over again in her own language, it became this incredible statement about defining herself on her own terms, completely free from all the external labels that are so often slapped onto global superstars. So part 4, awards and global acclaim. We've got this powerful artistic statement, but did it translate into actual success? Oh yeah, the answer is a huge, resounding yes. Let's take a look at the performance's impact.
I mean, the results just speak for themselves. At the MMAs, Jennie walked away with 3 awards, including one of the night's absolute biggest honors, the Record of the Year Grand Prize for her solo album Ruby. Then, online, the performance video just exploded, hitting over 6.1 million views in a matter of days. And this wasn't just a local thing. The acclaim went global, with Rolling Stone naming Ruby the 29th best album of 2025, which was the highest ranking for any K-pop artist that year.
So in the end, this was so much more than just a successful comeback. It was a masterclass in artistry. It was a performance where every single thread, from a 15-meter veil down to one tiny engraved sequin, told this beautiful, cohesive story of cultural heritage and personal identity. And all this leaves us with one final question to think about. In an industry that is so globalized, one that's always pushing for universal appeal, Jennie's performance really makes you wonder just how powerful and maybe how necessary is the act of connecting back to the local.